What I'm about to share with you is a very, very advanced strategy, okay? And I even hesitate to share it with you because the last thing I want to do is confuse you guys. But I'm going to share it with you because I want you to see what is possible once you understand this side of the business, okay? In a non-judicial state, actually I'll say it this way, in all 50 states in America, you can foreclose judicially, regardless of whether or not you're in a judicial or a non-judicial state. In a non-judicial state, the reason you would foreclose non-judicially is speed, because you can foreclose literally in 4.5 months. However, if you foreclose non-judicially, you cannot pursue the homeowner for what's called a deficiency judgment. You basically just get the house back quickly and you go about your merry way, okay? So as a lender, if I have a borrower who has absolutely no assets, they've got no income, they've got no savings, they've got no retirement, they got nothing. There's no reason for me to foreclose against them judicially and collect a judgment lien for my losses because they don't have anything to collect. So in that instance, I'm going to foreclose non-judicially and just be in and out and get the property back 4.5 months done. However, there are some bad actors out there who like to hide assets, and they hide behind a series of trusts and LLCs and all of these things. And it's very easy to breach the corporate veil through those things because often they're transferring funds from one to the other and they're not paying themselves correctly. So if I know that they're hiding assets, and this is true of me or any other lender, they can foreclose judicially in a non-judicial market. When they do that, a judgment lien is awarded, and that judgment lien can be foreclosed and purchased by a third party. Hence what we purchased on Friday at the auction. So here's the story, okay? This is a house in a very upscale part of town. Now, for those of you that are familiar with the Pacific Northwest, this is in what would be called North Spokane, in an area known as Windermere. Very, very nice, higher end community where property values are about $450,000. Are you fattening my pen? Okay. Okay. So $450,000 is the value of this asset. Now, always print the debt stack. Without the debt stack, you can't do anything because you don't know anything. You've got to know what the underlying liens are. So as I go into the debt stack, here's what I see. I see hang on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Here's what I see. I see a loan dated February 3rd, 2022. Was that 5 months ago? Okay, so 5 months ago, this homeowner did a loan modification, and I know that because it says Mr. Cooper. So Mr. Cooper is the government entity that will service loans that are in various stages of default and being modified. Okay, so anytime you see a Mr. Cooper on title, that's insight that it's some type of a loan modification. So a 2022 loan with a payoff of February 1st of 2052. Now, as I look at that, I go back a little bit further and I see something else dated March 3rd, or I'm sorry, March 1st of 2017 for $49,273. Now, the judicial foreclosure process, the way that we notice these, if I get this close to the camera, can they see it? You see that? Okay. All right. What you guys are looking at is a civil division lien from the Spokane County Sheriff. Okay. Go ahead and keep it there, even if I'm fuzzy, because I'm going to hold something else up. Okay. Now, this is what a judicial foreclosure summons looks like. Okay. Now, on it, it says Superior Court, State of Washington, Spokane County, and then it's against the plaintiff and the defendant, who is the homeowner. Now, down here below, it says that the amount of the lien, can you see that 24,000? Okay. That's what I'm looking at right here. So this now is going to be dated, what was last Friday? The 1st? I think last Friday was the 1st. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
And this is for $24,788.74. Okay, now, I know we didn't spend a lot of time on this, but I emphasize the importance of date, okay? Now, by date, which lien is the first lien? Well, 2017 came 5 years before February 2022, which means this lien right here is a first, which means this lien is a second, which means this lien is a third. Now, you guys remember that story of the guy I told you who bought the triplex for $25,001, and he was really excited because it had a first for $350 and a second for $100, and he just paid $475 for an asset worth $350. I've got an asset here worth $450. And if I pay off the first, and if I pay off the second, and I buy the asset, the third lien position for $24,788.74, what is my total purchase price for the property? Now, we'll go to audience interaction again. First person to get the number wins the prize. And it's pretty simple math, guys. Add these three numbers together. Tell me what you get. Anybody online? Okay, first person I see is Jermaine Duran. Jermaine, you win the prize. What's the prize? You get to hear your name. Thousands of people are hearing your name, Jermaine. Jermaine Duran, 193. Okay, now, guys, when you understand title, when you understand the auction process and the priority of the liens, even when I pay off the second and the first, I'm only into this deal 217 grand. It's worth 450. Now, why, if there were 4 other bidders there, why did nobody bid against me? Well, in a judicial foreclosure sale, there's something called a redemption period, okay? So when you buy a junior lien like this, you have something called a redemption period. Please write this down. Now, you would think that, oh, this is high-level stuff. Guys, it's printed right here. I mean, if you simply just read the summons and the complaint, which, by the way, is public record, okay? If you simply read the summons and complaints, here's what you see. The redemption period for this property is 12 months. And when the judge in a judicial foreclosure sale issues the lender the summons and the complaint and awards the judgment with a 12-month redemption, there's also what's called a redemption reward. And it is always listed as a percentage. Now you guys should pay very close attention because I've never taught this to any of our classes in 20 plus years because it's just too complicated and confusing. Again, that's why I gave you the caveat. But you've got to understand, you guys, for $498 to not know this stuff is costing you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in profit. Because every single one of you here could come up with $24,788, especially if you know what the redemption reward is. Well, Lee, what's the redemption reward? How do we find that? Well, you just read the rest of the summons and complaint. If the homeowner pays off my third lien position at any time during the process of the next 12 months, not only does she have to pay me 100% of what I purchased the property for, she also has to pay me an 18% interest reward. Now, I operate on a 9% pref to my investors. And there are some of you here who are investors in one of our private equity funds, either Fund 2, which pays out a 9 pref, we split the surplus. Some of you are invested in Fund 3, which is a 6 pref, we split the surplus. Either way, if I put your money in one of our equity funds in this deal and it pays off, we get 18% return. It's a no-brainer. So I'm buying the asset because I am more than willing to park $24,788.74 in this asset secured against real property at almost 50 cents on the dollar, turn 18%. Now, here's why nobody bid against me, okay? One, they don't want to park 25 grand for 12 months and only get 18%. But had they attended this class, and I pray that they are not watching right now, redemption rights, which is what this is called, are transferable. Which means they can be purchased. So now we simply go to the homeowner and I say, look, here's the deal. You owe the first 49, you owe the second 143, and now you owe me 24,788. I have to wait 12 months. In 12 months, I own this property, you guys, okay? I own it. Unless she brings me 24,788 in the next 12 months, I own the property, subject to paying off the first and the second, which I will have no problem doing. Even if you have no money, you guys, this is a loan that Coco Capital will do all day long because you're at like 48 cents on the dollar. This would easily be a no money down deal for the majority of you.